'Twas the night before DCCmas, and all along the road not a creature was croaking, not even a toad. The prizes were laid by the tree one by one, in hopes that the contest sure would be fun. The admins were nestled all snug in their beds, while visions of contests danced in their heads. And Toadz on his belly and Thyranq in his dryer, Pisspot was near melting in front of the fire, when out of the room there arose such a shuffle. But the admins asleep did not move a muscle. Thief had crept in, all dressed in black, and stuffed all their prizes into her big sack. She took all the prizes, the big and the small, then took the decorations, both the short and the tall. But what she did next was such a big dare. She undid the tree, she stripped the thing bare. She crept and she skulked all around their nice place, with a big evil grin spread over her face. She left nothing of Christmas for the admins to see, nothing at all but for one bare Christmas tree. Then off she sat with a sack stuffed so full, the weight was tremendous and quite hard to pull. She left no trace as she fled in the snow, on that cold winter night as it started to blow. The admins awoke from their slumbering sleep, and into the room they went for a peep. But what a shock, the bare Christmas tree! Simon then shrieked and fell to his knee. Pisspot was stunned at the sight to behold. Thyranq still slept, for his feet were still cold. Toadz dropped his jaw and his eyes went so wide, the prizes were gone that had filled him with pride.
Who could have done this awful terrible thing? They took all the Christmas, not only the bling.
Into the laundry room the crew they did storm, to awaken Lord Thyranq, hoping that his feet were now warm. They banged and they clattered, "Get up!" they screamed, as they tried to awaken the vampire fiend. The door opened slowly and the dryer did stop. Toadz hopped on over, his squidgy belly went plop.
We've been robbed!
He screamed to his dear cold friend, then explained how they had no more prizes to send.
We must find the prizes,
The Dark Lord replied.
The members will kill us if they know we've not tried.
And so with a nod they made their stern pact. This thief would be hunted, tracked, found and trapped. They set out with the prizes aplenty to find. Christmas itself was at stake this time. The team had just left and stepped outside, when what did they hear but a small voice that cried,
Wait up, my friends!
The tiny voice then said,
I've nothing to wear, I'm just out of bed.
'Twas the great and beautiful General Princess Steedog, outfits in tow, barreling out of the fog. And so the team then left their cosy little house in their desperate game of cat and of mouse. They trekked through the cold and blustery night, but neither chill nor snow was their biggest plight. They had to find their prizes before sunrise, you see, for the good boys and girls who were part of DCC.
Where are we going?
Spoke Simon the Sack.
We don't know from whom to get our prizes back. Victoria's, of course, who else could it be? We told her the contest and prize list, you see. It's got to be her.
Toadz called back in the cold.
There's simply nobody else that we've told. No one but her knows of the sizes, nor anything more of our bountiful prizes.
The team marched on in search of their loot, to seek out Victoria and give her the boot. They came upon her house and went up the lawn, only to find that the lights were still on. They peered in the window, and what did they find? Something that outraged them both body and mind. There she was, in all of her glee, with all of the prizes and lights from their tree.
My gosh!
Cried Pisspot, eyes wide in surprise.
She's huge, tremendous, double your size. Victoria's huge, much bigger than thought, but regardless of that, our prizes she'll have not.
Simon exclaimed, determined at will.
Get Thyranq inside before his feet start to chill.
So the team stormed in, fists clenched tight, to get back their prizes and set the night right.
Victoria!
Cried Thyranq with finger outstretched.
Give back our prizes, you vile old wench. Ha ha!
Cried Victoria in a moment of glee.
The prizes are mine. What can you do to me? Not much,
said Toadz with his head held so low.
For you see, to a woman I'd not strike a blow. I too could not, nor Simon the Sack, but yet still, you thief, our prizes we'll have back,
Thyranq did scream across the huge room.
Nothing can stop us, not even our doom. You see, vile villain,
The Dark Lord did shout.
we've brought with us two, with whom you shall bow.
Up stepped Steedog in all of her might, half Victoria's size but ready to fight.
You dirty old rotten absurd greedy thief! You give back our prizes lest I cause you much grief. The prizes are mine.
Victoria said.
Now out of my house, or else you'll be dead.
Steed charged in, full speed ahead, hoping to fill her nemesis with dread. How quickly Victoria delivered her kick. The blink of an eye, it was really that quick. She struck Steedog's hand with all of her force. Despite Stee's cries, she showed no remorse.
Ah!
Cried Stee as she watched her hand flail.
I can fight no more, for I've broken a nail.
She ran back to her group, her pride left so tattered. She fell to one knee, her confidence shattered.
That does it,
Cried Pisspot, stepping toward.
I'll not see my friends in pain anymore. You're twice the size of General Princess Stee, but you're only a small bit bigger than me.
Pisspot then huffed, her face was enraged. The beast inside her was fully uncaged. With all of her menace, she stepped up to her foe, but noticed a puddle around her big toe.
Oh no!
She cried, looking down at her feet.
It's no use, she's too hot, I can't take the heat.
Pisspot's whole body had started to melt. Despair set in, it was all she felt.
You doofus!
Cried Toadz, beginning to tire.
She's not too hot, she's in front of the fire. Come back, Pisspot.
Simon hollered with haste.
Your arm is half gone, but please save your face.
The DCC team were now at wit's end. The floor was all wet because of their friend, and in that moment their courage did waver. They needed some hope, they needed a saviour. And then came a sound that made their hearts swell, the sound of footsteps adorned with some bells. With one final stomp, the bells stopped their jingle.
My God,
Said Simon.
I think it's Kris Kringle.
Santa was there, but what's on his back? A gun in his hand and an RPG instead of his sack.
Ho ho ho!
The Jolly One spoke, while Toadzy let out a wee little croak. He stepped in the room, his twinkly eyes fixed on Victoria the thief and her naughty little tricks. The admin team, they stared in shock. Not a sound could be heard but for the tick of a clock. And Santa, he placed his arm around the fiend. The team looked in awe. It was as if it was a dream. He looked in her eye and said,
My dear Vic, you're put on the naughty list. You've been quite a prick. You see, my child,
as Vic started to pout.
This is not what DCCmas is about. Taking from others, that's wrong, you see. You share with others, it's not me, me, me. You seem to have forgotten the true meaning of this season. It's not for taking from others, no, that's not the reason. You share with your friends and people you hold dear, to show them your thanks and your love for that year. DCCmas is about friends, loved ones, and family. Not stealing the lights from their Christmas tree. Now give back their prizes and don't be so cold. You know that they have a huge contest to hold. They've worked really hard to arrange this prize feast, and you've not helped once, not at all in the least. Victoria, my child, you've given us a scare. Now be a good girl, be selfless and share. DCCmas would not be near as much fun without prizes and sharing and contests to run. Let the members be wide-eyed in awe of their prizes. Let them be merry in all of their shapes and their sizes.
Victoria started to break at his voice. The DCC team began to rejoice. She broke down in tears as she wailed and she cried. She wept and she sobbed. She pouted and sighed.
I'm sorry, Santa,
she said with great pain.
The prizes were so great and I was so vain. I couldn't resist their mighty prize stash, nor all of the heaps of green cold hard cash. I wanted them for myself, to belong all to me. That's why I stole from the dear DCC. I see now that it was a mistake. I think I just must have needed a break. It's lonely up here, all by myself, and those prizes would look lovely atop of that shelf. I wanted their prizes to brighten my days on all of my long and solemn lonely stays. I see now I've wronged the good admin team, and the members of DCC, they must want to scream. I'll give them back, Santa. Thank you so much. Your words have shown me to be quite a putz. Thank you, Victoria,
said Simon the Sack.
It's mighty big of you, dear, to give our prizes back. Come to our place,
cried Toadz with a shout.
No need to stay here, alone with a pout. You can spend DCCmas with us. You see there's no need now to put up a fuss. Yes, with us you shall be, a welcome part of the DCC family.
Thyranq called out to his once nemesis.
You can stay, but you must promise this. No more stealing of prizes so cool. Prizes so awesome they'll make members drool. I promise,
Victoria cried back with much glee.
And I'll put everything back on your Christmas tree. Join us, Victoria, for the contest at hand. The members, they'll soon find out what we've planned.
Pisspot exclaimed, her arms in a flail.
You can then help Sea-Dog redo her nails.
And so the team collected their things, their prizes, their tree lights, and even their bling. They sang and they caroled as Santa's boots jingled. DCCmas was saved because of Kris Kringle. And they settled down in their own little space. Around their bright tree their prizes they placed. Santa then climbed aboard his sleigh lit so bright, and dashed away off into the cold distant night. But before he was gone, they heard such a cry from high up above them in the still night sky.
Merry DCCmas to all! Now show us your best, and good luck to all in the next big contest.
So the team stormed in, fist clenched. So the steam torn.
Merry DCCmas to all. Now show us your best, and good luck to fudge. Damn. My gosh! Cried Pigpot. Eyes what? Pigpot.
Into the laundry room, the crew did.
You can then help Sea-Dog redo her nails. That does it. That
It's got to be here, Toadz called in. It's got to be here, Toadz called back in the cold. There's simply It's got to be here, Toadz. Oh my god, I can't stop laughing.
Ah! Hey, you said you were gonna laugh. And Sea-Dog loses it. Thank you, Victoria, said Simon the Sack. It's mighty big of you, dear, to give our prizes back. That sounds way too much like Santa Claus.
They've worked really hard to arrange this prize feast, and now, Jesus Christ, this is your fault, Mike. I don't know why, but I'm blaming you.
Merry DCCmas to all. I'm high up in the sky. You people can't hear me if I talk like that. Santa here.
Sorry, I had a burp in me now. Gotta do that one again. There we go.
You're put on the naughty list. You've been quite a prick. Yeah. It's a good thing you're not watching me doing it. You